Hey you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso. So I've got an interesting day here. I got back one of our preacher puppies, the brindle boy. He was much too dominant for his family, and so I basically kind of recommended that I replace him with a female for the home, so that so that they have more of a chance of it working out. No, Berlin. No. He wants to be fed right now. And so so this guy here, this one over here, I wish that I'd gotten it on video, but I had him in here with his mother for a while, and he tried to get sassy with her, and she made it very clear to him that he was not. Cut it out, Berlin, be quiet. She made it very clear to him that was not the path forward, and he got his feelings hurt, but is no worse for the wear. Then I brought out his siblings so that he could interact with them, and we brought some food out. And initially, the Formentino female was very aggressive, taking over the bowl. The brindle male really wanted in the bowl, but the Formentino wouldn't let him, and then they got into a little bit of a scuffle, and then now they're all eating out of the bowl together. So the reason why I don't just bring out multiple bowls is because this actually is a situation where I do want this puppy to have some pushback. I don't want him to be able to take over his own bowl. I want him to have to share. The minute I brought these other puppies in, he was trying to dominate everybody. He was trying to put everybody in their place. And so anyway, so it's something that, I have to kind of reset him. So what was happening is that he was pushing his weight around. He was being very dominant. And because one of his owners was not speaking his language, for lack of a better word, or lack of a better term, he was just basically running rampant and pushing more boundaries. And a puppy doesn't really have good judgment. They don't have good impulse control. And so they often go overboard. It's kind of like, a good example I just thought of is rattlesnakes. They say that it's worse to get bitten by a baby rattlesnake. Oh, there we go. Interesting. So the brindle boy took over the bowl, started the fight, bit my black boy in the face, and of course my boy didn't let him get away with it, and then they decided to agree to disagree. But as you can see, his tail is down now. See that? So he's insecure right now. Formentino female is not insecure right now, but he's taken over it and he's eyeballing. And so, Berlin, hush. No. 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 Berlin. Sorry about the silence, but I'm doing eye contact with Berlin right now so that he knows that I'm serious. So anyway, so this little dude's used to getting his way, and he's got to learn that he's not allowed to get his way, and that's why he's out here with his siblings. And there's a reason I didn't get involved in that scuffle, and it's because he's got to learn how to communicate with his own kind, and If I went in there and I saved him, if I interrupted that, then I would stop the lesson from being learned, right? Now you might say to yourself, well, he's right here in front of this food bowl and he's on it and he's dominating it. Yeah, well, right now. But he did get some pushback. He did learn that you don't get to be a jerk without consequences. And I will say that it's not over. You know what I mean? This is only the first time that he's been around his siblings. And so it's only kind of just begun. And he's kind of flexing right now, but he's going to learn very quickly that it's you know, and so that Formentino actually pressured him out of there. And you can tell by the tail, okay? The tail tells a lot. You see how high up her tail is and how low his was, and she kept circling. She was basically putting pressure on him. So you see how he's watching? So he wants to be eaten right now. He wants to be a part of that. He didn't come off of it willingly. He came off of it because she was pressuring him. Do you see? So he wanted to come up, tail up. He did a little side thing, but he didn't come in, so he's waiting. And so there's a lot to this kind of stuff that's very subtle and not quite as you would think it is. And sometimes the winner isn't who you think, or even, you know. And that's a completely separate thing, but also one I wanted to talk about. A lot of people don't understand what an alpha is. They think that an alpha is a dictator. Like they win every time, all the time. They're the strongest, and it's like this ultimate, never giving way being that just rules with absolute authority and just an iron fist. And that's not what an alpha is. An alpha doesn't have to win every single argument. They only need to be the one that is the one that everybody else leans on. Like so like for example. Let me try to think. So, okay. Everybody knows, like when you're in school and stuff like that, right? And there's like groups of kids, okay? Within every group of kids, there's a leader. There's an alpha in every group of friends, okay? And just because that person is the quote unquote alpha, the leader of the friends, doesn't mean that they make every decision. It doesn't mean that they dictate what everybody in their friend group does. It simply means that in general, there's an acceptance of the fact that this individual is the, you know, leader, right? Like the one that is the, you know, some people might call him the popular one in the group, whatever, you know what I mean? That, and it's hard to explain because it's so nuanced, right? Because behavior is not so singular. It's not so black and white. And, you know, body language is very much just a language, and so there's intricacies to it. So anyway, so I think it's really important when we're talking and discussing about what an alpha is, that people understand that you know, like for example, if I was to look in this pack of animals and decide for myself like who I thought had the most alpha energy, it would not be him, because he's insecure right now. It wouldn't be him. It would be her or him to me, because him, you see how as he approaches, his tail comes back up. There's more confidence there. Look at that, tail up. See how it got higher as he came over towards him, and his tail is down, right? So the tail communicates a lot about the way a dog is. Now, when he sassed him, he immediately responded and pushed back and put that dog down, right? And that's an alpha. Now, then you would say, some people would say, well, then why didn't he keep going? When the other dog kept going, why didn't he keep going? Because this dog is insecure and overreacting. A true alpha knows when to quit. They don't have to have the last word. Hey, psst. That's what part of being a really good alpha is having the judgment to know when to let it go, right? In humans, it would be, having the last word. It's very rarely the most confident, dominant people among us that feel the need to get the last word in on everything. You know what I mean? The ability to let it go is more of an alpha type personality trait than the other. A lot of people think that you need to go overboard and you need to win no matter what, and it's just, that's insecurity. That's just insecurity. So, hey babies. So anyway, yes, he's a very dominant puppy. There's no question about that. No question about that. And is he probably an alpha type personality? Sure, yeah. But in this group of puppies right now, no. Right now, he's insecure, which makes sense because where he just came from, he was kind of ruling the roost, and it's not good for a puppy to be in charge. It oftentimes makes them insecure because it's an unnatural position for them to be in. So here we go. So here's the black puppy who he's actually trying to invite him to play, but the brindle puppy's kind of lost the ability to play yet because he's so tense. He's so insecure, and so he feels that he needs to maintain his status so much that he can't even relax enough to play right now. And so he's got to come back and learn how to be a dog again, and learn how to be respectful and how to chill. And then we'll allow him to go into his new forever home under the condition that, you know, obviously the home is set up for a male that is very much every bit a traditional traditional male Corso. This is about as tough as you're going to get right here. This dog right here. He was sassing his owners, trying to get aggressive, trying to fight them back, stuff like that, like not good. And so, in me, I handle that. You know what I mean? It's easy for me because I've had so many of these dogs that for me, that's a very simple fix. It doesn't really take much of my time or effort. But if you're not used to these dogs and you've never had that before, then it can be kind of scary. And you don't really know how to handle it because, you know, you don't want to hurt the dog. You don't want to traumatize the dog, right? So it's a delicate thing. You know what I mean? Bertha, for example, Bertha was very much like him, but the people that got her recognized the kind of temperament she was going to have, and they knew going into it, they wanted her. And so, and they've had a fantastic experience with her. And I will say that it wasn't the whole household. The husband did really good with the dog, would have been perfect if he wasn't, you know, married with kids. And I'm not going to lie, that happens. You know what I mean? That actually is very common, where the wife is typically the one that where when I see these kinds of things, it's usually the wife. And not that there's anything wrong. I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying that women in general do have a little bit of a softer personality oftentimes, which can be more difficult for this breed. And so it's not a right or wrong. There's no such thing as right and wrong when it comes to what breed of dog is suitable for you. That's why there's all different kinds of breeds, because there's all different kinds of people and all different kinds of personalities. And just because a dog isn't suitable for you doesn't mean that another one won't be. And so for me, I recommend females to people that have that issue, because I've not ever seen females get as testy with their owners as I've seen the males get. And so that was my recommendation for them. But, you know, he's going to be here for a little bit, and he's going to be learning and growing. And, you know, as you saw, he had a little tussle with his brother. He learned a little bit about respect, learned that, that in fact, like one of the things that he had gotten away with was kind of doing that kind of behavior. He would sass, he would bark and bite and try to charge, and doing exactly what he did. And in this situation, he got some pushback, and he learned real fast by his own sibling, you don't do that. And that's why I didn't interrupt, because there's got to be a natural consequence. And that's why there are some puppies that benefit from staying in the home longer with their pack mates and with their mother, so that they can learn these lessons in a more natural way, so that the owners don't have to do a lot of that. So anyway, so that's kind of what we're doing. That's kind of what they're up to. And I'm going to bring Mona in, let her eat this food. I'm going to clean up this new poop I had just cleaned in here, but we'll go ahead and we'll clean it up again. Bring her out here, let her eat, and continue to let her work with them. And as you can see his tail is down now. So he's behaving himself a lot more. See, his sister's tail is high up like that. So they're basically communicating to him, you're not the biggest dog in this pack. Not that size matters, but you know what I mean? You're not the most dominant dog in this pack. You're not going to come in here and push your weight around. You're not going to be disrespectful. As you can see, his brother is actually wagging his tail around him. He's not being a jerk. He's not coming up and trying to be overly dominant with him. He's a fair dog, and that's what I like to see. So anyway, just wanted to update you guys on what's going on here, and I'll be doing a I'll be doing a Senza Life vlog in a bit, and kind of talking about everything else going on. And so, hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll talk at you later. Bye.